Mary Garita and I worked together at the Palm Beach Post for more than 20 years. We were writing partners for 3 years, and we rode all over South Florida, the Withlacoochee Trail in Central Florida, the tour of rural southern vistas in Georgia, and at Ghost Road 27. I watched her learn how to use clipless pedals and to climb hills. We talked to folks along the road, climbed bridges, took pictures, saw gators, turtles, foxes, and birds. Our favorite riding spot was the Lake Okeechobee Scenic Trail. The Lost, we called it. The baby-bottom smooth blacktop trail is on the top of the dike surrounding Lake Okeechobee. You're isolated from motor vehicle traffic by the lake on one side and a rim canal on the other. Conditions couldn't have been better on this January 6th morning in 2007. The temperature was in the mid-70s. The wind was calm. The skies were a bright blue with just a speckling of fluffy white clouds. We wear helmets when we're on the road, but I've always said we were more afraid of heat stroke than head injury on the Lost. After all, what was there to hit? Mary was having a great day. She immediately took off and got about a quarter mile ahead of me. She stopped at the Chansey Lock, about 7 miles from our starting point at Port Mayaca. Mary took off again and quickly got about a tenth of a mile ahead. When I looked up, I saw her about 100 feet in front of me, stretched out like she was taking a nap. My first thought was, hey, I am not so slow that you can mock me by pretending to take a nap in the middle of the trail. When I got off the bike, I discovered that she was unconscious, already had a lump the size of an egg above her right eye, and had blood trickling from the corner of her mouth. When I got to the Okeechobee Hospital, I was told that she was undergoing a CAT scan. After discovering that her skull was fractured in 5 places, she was transferred to Martin Memorial Hospital in Stewart. Here's what her life is like 3 years after the crash.
I remember taking off, and then next thing I know, I'm in the hospital, getting up to go to the bathroom and realizing I was seeing double. That was the only thing I remember. I don't remember talking to you, not even being in the ambulance. I look at the picture and I try to think of, if I could remember that point, but I don't. And it was strange the way I had my hands, And then I went into the bathroom, and that's when I saw my face all, black and blue, and a big bump, and, I checked to make sure all my teeth were there, so, and that was it, and saying, I'm seeing double. And then I guess they didn't know that I had double vision at that point, and I thought it was going to go away. I'm wearing prisms, and I guess it's on the right eye, and if I don't have them, I see, when I take my glasses off, I see double, so I have to kind of tilt my head sideways. I never had vertigo until, and I think it is, yeah. I know my eyesight has gotten worse, so that's another thing on my list. I have to get new glasses, but the vertigo, the point where I can't get on ladders or anything like that because I get dizzy, or even if I look up, to the sky or something, and I get dizzy. As far as my vision, they can't really do anything about that. They can't do the surgery because they say if they do the surgery, it might be worse. Yeah, my short-term memory, which is, very aggravating. So Tammy will tell me something, and then it's like, you don't remember I told you that? And it's so now the minute she says something or something said that I have to remember, I jot everything down, and even though I still forget it, but what I do now is put it on the refrigerator so I remember, everything that's important. I could still feel it, and it's kind of numb. It's funny, it's kind of numb. The back of my head, I could always feel it, and it sometimes hurts. I don't know why. Oh, it's completely different now. I'm in a new home with Tammy and Nicholas, a little guy. He's 2 years old, and yeah, they're great. They really help me out a lot. Tammy's always looking out for me. Yeah, she's worse than a mom. And I do miss our rides, Ken. That's one thing I've spoken to my therapist, and I don't know why. I guess I'm afraid. I look at the bike, it's, they're in the garage, and I look at the bike, and I always think of all the rides we went through, and, I really miss it, and, but, yeah, it's just, she says, yeah, it must be fair. No, I mean, everything that I've been through in the past, and, who would have thought, just one day riding the bike, but, when it happened, I learned so much about, bicycling and not having a helmet on, how important it is, I mean, one gal that I spoke to, she actually worked in one of the doctor's office that I went to. Her father had died from, hitting a parking cement thing there, and he was riding his bike and he just hit that, fell off his bike, he hit his head on it, so I'm real lucky, to be alive. One of the doctors had said that he asked me if I went to church, and I said, yeah, I go every Sunday, and he goes, well, you better keep going because you're lucky to be alive, and it's so true. Yeah, to see, that day, like I was telling you, that I got up and went to the bathroom, and I didn't even recognize myself, my eyes were all black and blue, and one of them I think was all red and big lump, and it was just really strange to see my face like that. And then I thought the after effects, like, oh, am I going to be scarred for life, or what's going to happen? So, definitely God was looking over my shoulder, and I had a little angel there too. All in all, I'm glad to be alive, and with, Tammy and Nicholas, I mean, I think if it wasn't for them, I don't think I'd be here right now, to be honest with you, because